Welcome back to S.M.S. Soccer Made Simple. My name is Ephraim Juma.
My name is Zeth Oduor.
So today we are going to predict tonight's games, tonight's Premier League games. So just listen to our predictions if you are a betting fanatic. This is 90% chance of winning. We're not saying it's 100%, but it's our view on the games tonight. Seth, what do you think about Fulham versus Manchester City tonight?
Fulham versus City, Fulham at home. This is going to be a very, very tough match for Manchester City. So I think I'm going to go for Manchester City or draw. Not Manchester City to win entirely because Fulham are at home and their home record against big clubs isn't that bad. So I'm going to go for City or draw. And next we've got Bournemouth, Everton. Everton, not so convinced about their style of play lately, so I'm going to go with Bournemouth or draw. Bournemouth at home, Bournemouth or draw.
And then Newcastle versus Tottenham.
Tottenham are in a bad shape right now, so and we all know Eddie Howe's football style of play, aggressive. So we know how Newcastle are going to be aggressive, especially at home. So that is Newcastle to win. That's a sure win for Newcastle. Tottenham, I think they're in a very, very, very bad shape right now at the moment. Yes. So Newcastle to win.
Okay. For me, Fulham versus Manchester City, I'll go with Manchester City to win tonight. Bournemouth versus Everton, I'll go with Everton to win. Newcastle, Tottenham, of course, Newcastle. Tottenham have not been performing lately. I've not seen their style is not convincing. In the past matches, they've been losing or drawing, and they've not been consistent. So I'll go with Newcastle. Okay, this is my question for you. Manchester City is 5 points behind Arsenal. Do you think Arsenal, in the next 3 games, is going to maintain the first position?
In the coming matches, probably, yeah, they're going to maintain the first position. City are second with 25 points. And even if Arsenal could lose, they'll still be first. So there will be a gap of 2 points.
Yes.
That is if City wins against Fulham. But City against Fulham, it's going to be very tough for Guardiola. City to win or draw, that's my prediction, my point of view. Then with Arsenal next, they're playing against Brentford at home, Emirates. They've got a home advantage lately. But if they'll sideline still sideline Saliba and Gabriel Magalhaes, I think it's going to be a tough match. But at home, probably, I expect them to win against Brentford. As much as I'm not still convinced about them winning the title.
Yes.
But I think they should win against Brentford. At Emirates, they should win against Brentford.
Okay, by the way, we've been talking lately about Crystal Palace's playing style. So tomorrow, Crystal Palace is facing Burnley. The Manchester United beat them in the weekend. Do you think they'll come up against Burnley? Because Burnley have also been playing well in recent games.
I think the problem with Palace with Palace currently, they've got a tight fixture. You know, they're in Europe, then they still have to play the Premier League. For a team of their caliber, it's hard to maintain top performance when you go to Europe, play during the weekends, because they can barely manage to rotate the squad. Yes. So it's been a tough week for Crystal Palace, and I think that is even why they lost to Manchester United, because it has been a tough week for them, and still they have to play again tomorrow. So not so sure with them to win against Burnley. Burnley are not so bad either with their style of play. It's just that things are not going their way in the Premier League, but they are not so bad either. So it's going to be a tough match for Palace. They've got a tight fixture lately. They've been so busy. So I think it's going to be a tough one for Palace again. Playing against Manchester United on Sunday. Then, was it on Saturday or Sunday?
Sunday.
I think it was on Sunday.
Yes,
so
Sunday.
Facing United on Sunday, you are from Europe on Thursday. Then again, you have to play on Wednesday. A team of their caliber, they are still going to struggle. Even if they're going to win, it's going to be a narrow win.
Okay, Seth. We have a game of Wolves against Nottingham tomorrow night. So, what are your thoughts on that game?
Wolves, Nottingham. I think I'm gonna go with Nottingham. Sean Dyche. I'm banking on Sean Dyche on Sean Dyche, a very brilliant coach, a guy who knows what he's doing. So Nottingham Forest to win against Southampton Wanderers.
I'm also banking on Nottingham. So Brighton Aston Villa, a very confusing game to bet.
Brighton Aston Villa, Brighton at home.
Yes.
And then Villa, Unai Emery. I can't narrate Unai Emery. He's a good coach, by the way. He's a guy who knows what he's doing, same as Sean Dyche. So I'm gonna go with either of them to win.
Yes.
Either of them to win. Either of the two. I'm not banking on anyone on this fixture. So either Brighton or Aston Villa to win.
Then Arsenal is playing Brentford. They're the league leaders.
The league leaders against Brentford. I'm expecting Arsenal to win, even with a narrow margin. But I'm expecting Arsenal to win.
So for anyone who's placing a bet, you're recommending Arsenal.
If you want to play a safe bet, Arsenal will draw, but I'm expecting Arsenal to win against Brentford, especially at Emirates.
Okay, what about Liverpool against Sunderland?
Liverpool, Sunderland, that's Sunderland will draw. I'm going to go with Sunderland will draw. Lately, Liverpool. Okay, you know,
really, look at the odds. Liverpool has 1.39.
I told you it. Okay, we did not record it, guys, because we have just started our channel recently. But I had told you, remember against Galatasaray, I told you Liverpool were going to lose against Galatasaray.
Yes.
Same thing I told you against Manchester United at Anfield. Liverpool are going to lose against United. Same thing when they were facing Chelsea at Stamford Bridge. I told you Liverpool were going to lose against Chelsea. And I'm telling you, Liverpool against Sunderland, it's going to be Sunderland or draw. Liverpool are way worse than people think. They're not the Liverpool.
Okay. Yeah. I'm going to go for any team to win.
Okay,
so
but
Leeds Chelsea.
Chelsea.
You know, Chelsea in the past games they've been lethal. What can you say about them?
Leeds are not so bad. Leeds are not so bad. So Leeds against Chelsea. I'm gonna go Chelsea on this one.
Chelsea.
I'm gonna go Chelsea. Chelsea will draw. Leeds Chelsea will draw. But it's going to be a tough match. It won't be so easy for Chelsea since they don't have Moses Caicedo in the midfield. So it's going to be a tough match.
Then lastly, Manchester United will be playing West Ham. That's your team. In fact, I'm also a fan of Manchester United. What do you think about that match?
United, West Ham, United to win.
United to win.
United to win with all the odds. I'm not favoring United, but United to win. I'm expecting United to win against West Ham, especially at Old Trafford. Matheus Cunha is back.
Yes.
He's gonna be available for selection for the team that will be facing West Ham. We have an extra option. A very hardworking player.
Licha will start.
Back on the team.
Yes.
So with the two back on the team, I think we've got very high chances of winning against West Ham, and plus West Ham are not so good also this season. So I'm gonna go for United to win.
Okay, lastly, I want us to talk about Atletico Bilbao versus Real Madrid. Of course, this is a team that we'll be focusing on. By the way, for our viewers, in Spain, we'll be focusing on Atletico Madrid, Real Madrid, and Barcelona. In Bundesliga, Bayern Munich. In Ligue 1, PSG. And then in Serie A, we'll be focusing on Roma, Inter Milan, AC Milan, and Juventus. So what would you say about this game? Athletic Bilbao, Real Madrid.
Athletic Bilbao against Real Madrid at home. Athletic will be hosting Real Madrid. So I'm going to go with Real Madrid or draw. Xavi drawing against Girona wasn't that Real are not performing, but Girona are a very good side. And I think if you are a fan of football analysis, you should take a look at Girona's style of play and their performance last season. They are not a side that you can underrate against a big team. So Girona isn't a bad, like, people should not be looking at it like a small team. It's like being beaten by Crystal Palace or Newcastle in Premier League. Because you are definitely a bigger team, but then these guys play good football. They know what they're doing. So that was the case with Girona. With Athletic Club, I'm gonna go Real Madrid or draw. Madrid or draw against Athletic Club.
Okay. That's all for today. Those are our predictions for the midweek Premier League games. Remember to subscribe to this channel, like our video, share the video.
Yeah, interact. Let us know what sort of information you are missing from the matches that you would love for us to analyze to enlighten your understanding of the game. So we are here for you guys.
Okay, see you next time.